Are you ready to explore the extraordinary Dismal Swamp? As sailors who have journeyed through both the Dismal Swamp and the Virginia Cut routes, we can tell you that this wild and wonderful terrain holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Prepare to discover the mysterious secrets of the Dismal Swamp as we navigate through its enchanting terrain. Join us as we reveal the 5 essential tips for a safe and unforgettable journey into this captivating wilderness. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay updated on our adventures and future tips.
Tip number 5. Where to fill up on diesel.
It's 120 nautical miles from Norfolk, Virginia to Belhaven, North Carolina. But I was only able to find 2 places in which you can fill up on diesel. The first one is a marina northeast of Elizabeth City and the bridge. And the second one is also a marina northwest of the Alligator River Bridge. Check the tide table as sailboats have grounded on the approach leading to both of these marinas.
Like Lori mentioned, it's 120 nautical miles from Belhaven to Norfolk. You might be thinking, 120 nautical miles? At 6 knots, I'll need about 20 gallons of fuel. Well, you might just need a little bit more. In the canal, there are several factors that might add time to your schedule, such as the Army Corps of Engineers could be removing debris from the canal after a recent storm, or just out on routine maintenance. Their barge is big, and you'll need to coordinate passing it with them and any other vessels.
So we saw this barge, and we had no idea what it was. We tried to hail it twice on channel 13, which is for commercial vessels, nothing. We just passed the sign that said U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Superintendent House. And it looks like a maintenance barge. And it has a crane, but it isn't doing anything right now, and it is all the way up against the west side of the canal.
Depending on the time of year, there could be lots of traffic coming in and out of the locks. There may be too many boats. You might have to wait until the next scheduled opening. There's also the possibility of delays at the bridges. The lock tenders operate the bridges, and it can take them some time to drive to the bridge control center after clearing a lock.
Yes, there are plenty of incidents that could add hours to your journey, so it's best to have plenty of diesel on hand.
Tip number 4, locks, and what you need to know.
The distance between the Mills and Deep Creek locks is 22 statute miles. The locks operate on a schedule with openings 4 times a day unless the water levels cause restricted openings. As Dave mentioned, the tenders do work both the locks and the bridges. It's important to know what gear is needed in order to transit the locks. Everyone must have a life jacket on. You'll need a minimum of 2 lines and fenders, bow and stern to tie up to the sides of the dock, and you should call ahead to the lock tender to find out the length of line that you need and which side to put the lines and fenders on.
Also, remember to keep your VHF on channel 13 to communicate with the lock tender and coordinate with other boats entering and exiting the locks. We'll leave the phone numbers for both locks in the description below. One final note, the lock tender may ask if you'll be staying at the visitor center for the night. This helps them inform the next lock of potential incoming traffic.
So we're going to be going up. And the operator is going into her little gate. She's very nice. You gotta be careful your side. We're swinging in. Our stern is going in, honey. Well, you get your stick.
Your vessel?
Maria Anita.
Okay, Maria, M-A-R-I-A.
Yep.
And then how do you spell the last?
Anita, B-U-N-I-E-A.
I-T. Okay, I gotcha.
So now she's going to the north side of the canal. And even though there's a little bit of water, I have a feeling in a few minutes there's going to be a hell of a lot more. And there she comes. Heavier and heavier. More and more. Feel it going up already. She's sit, so try not to bounce us around. Hi, it's Dave and Lori. Or Lori and Dave. Anyway, we just want to say thank you to all the subscribers. We really appreciate all your comments and hearing about your favorite places and answering your questions. We want to give a special thank you to our patrons. We love connecting with our community on YouTube. And in Patreon, we're thrilled to be able to offer more ways to connect and learn. We hope to encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. Tip number 3, visitor center information. If you plan on stopping, it's a great place to visit. And even if you don't, they can provide valuable information about the canal. If you plan on stopping, you might want to ask about potable water and if it's available. When we were there, it was only available on the north end of the wharf. If stopping, you should also call ahead to find out what is the current traffic on the wharf. The wharf is 150 feet long, and if it's full, boats will raft up.
Ask them about bugs. They'll be able to tell you if there's been a recent hatch and what to prepare for. Also, ask about the current water conditions. Is duckweed present, or is there a high concentration of algae on the surface? Either could potentially clog your sea strainer and make it harder to reach the next lock during operating hours.
Phone number and website will be listed in the description below. Tip number 2, where to spend the night.
The south side is obvious. Stay at the visitor center wharf if there's room. Near the north lock, though, you have a couple of options. One, just south of the Deep Creek Bridge, there's a concrete wall on the east side of the canal with room for one large boat or 2 small ones. There's a small grocery store, auto parts store, and a restaurant or 2 a short walk away. 2, just north of the bridge, but before the lock, there's the beautiful Deep Creek Park. It offers a 200-foot wharf for vessels of all sizes. Remember, you can always anchor at one end of the canal or the other. There's no boat traffic at night, since the locks are both closed, and it's an easy way to get a peaceful night's sleep.
Tip number 1, know the current depth of the canal before you transit. The Visitor Center and the Army Corps of Engineers can provide this information. It's important to contact one or the other to get the current depth.
Why is this important? Whether you're on a sailboat or a trawler, you'll need to watch out for deadheads.
Deadheads?
No, silly. This type. It's important to keep someone at the bow as a lookout to help navigate around protruding deadheads. If there is something small above the surface, it is probably much larger and embedded in the mud below. There's also other obstructions on the bottom of the canal that can damage your keel, prop, rudder, or hull if the water level is too low. Stay to the center of the canal as much as you can. If you do need to dodge a deadhead or an oncoming vessel, look for overhanging trees. They love to tangle with your rigging. The canal is only about 50 feet wide and is shallower towards the sides.
Also, confirm that the Dismal Swamp is even open prior to beginning your trip. Yes, there's a sign at the northern part of the route, but you'll probably want to find out this information before you begin your journey.
The Dismal Swamp does close from time to time, due to maintenance, severe weather, or low water levels.
Our journey through the Dismal Swamp was truly an unforgettable experience. By following our tips, we hope you'll have an incredible time exploring this natural wonder. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions or tips of your own. Don't forget to click like and subscribe so you can stay updated on our adventures and future tips.